what's going on? What's going on? It's Lady Dre, and welcome to Healing Sessions. I hope that this message finds you well. I hope that you've had an amazing, abundant, prosperous, loving, fulfilling, masterful day. So, if you have been following thus far the month of gratitude videos, then you know that we will be talking about, the things that we are full of gratitude for, or that we are grateful for or thankful for, however you want to put it. But really the idea is to really just be in a space to be grateful, right? Be grateful and full of gratitude for the things that are in your life, that you do have in your life, the things that do bring you joy, the things that allow you to be able to shine and just be your authentic self, right? And so I hope that these videos are just allowing you just to recognize the things that you are grateful for in your life. And so welcome if you're new here. If you are returning, you already know what's up. I appreciate y'all, love you very much. So this one, today we're going to talk about we are going to talk about being full of gratitude and grateful for me being an empath. So if you've seen some of my previous videos, I've briefly talked about me being an empath and really not knowing that I was one early on in my childhood, I would say, because I've always been very, very intuitive. I have been an empath practically my whole life. I didn't know that I was one. However, once I got on my spiritual journey, I start to recognize just, what I've been feeling my whole life, And so the thing is, what's interesting is because for a long time, I always looked at me being an empath as a curse, right? Like being in a space to be able to feel everything, and mine was a little bit more in depth because not only I could feel things, I could see things, I could hear things, and so yeah, it was definitely in overdrive, right? And so for a long time, I looked at it as a curse. I looked at it as like, why do I feel how I feel? You know what I'm saying? Why is it that I can feel these emotions? And for a long time, I didn't know how to control it. For a long time, I didn't know how to just be able to differentiate between my own feelings and emotions and someone else's, And so it took time for me to be able to be in a space where I can understand just, my feelings and emotions versus someone else's, it took a while. It took a while. But now what's so interesting is because once I got into a space where I could recognize it, I understood that it was so much more than, it was nothing as far as a curse at all. It really was my superpower. Like, and I tell anybody that like knows me. And what's funny is because, I can tell people that I'm an empath, and I think for a majority of the people, it's interesting that know me. I should say, I'm not gonna talk about people that don't know me, but that know me, know me. I think they always kind of took it as like, yeah, right, until you know what I'm saying, they seen it for themselves, or they witnessed it themselves, you know what I'm saying? And whether it was me, whether it was, them telling on themselves, should I say? But the interesting thing is because, I I'm appreciative and grateful for my gifts. You know what I'm saying? I'm appreciative and grateful for being able to be in a space where I can not only master, my feelings and emotions, but it took some time, and like I said, at an early age, I didn't know that's what it was called. At an early age, I didn't know, I didn't know how to control it at all. You know what I'm saying? So it was all kind of just like an emotional roller coaster, because I didn't know the difference between mine or someone else's. I just knew that I felt it. I knew that I seen it. I knew that I heard it. And so, yeah, it was difficult coming up, especially not being able to be in a space where, I was able to nurture it, or someone allowed helped me to nurture it. There was not a safe space for me to be able to do that, especially coming up. And so it was pretty much out of trial and error that I had to learn how to not only recognize it, but to be able to utilize it, for my benefit, you know what I'm saying, and for the benefit of others around me, you know what I'm saying, and my surroundings. And so it's interesting because I'm very much grateful for being able to be in a space where I can, not only show other people how to harness, and be in a space to recognize their emotions and someone else's, but also too to be able to be in a space where I can teach people how to not let it take control of you. You know what I'm saying? And you being more in a space of controlling it. And so, like I said, it took some time for me to get there. It took time for me to be able to understand it and learn it and grow from it, right? And now it's crazy because it's so interesting because I'm 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 grateful that I have been able to, control it, but it's weird because I'm now in a space where it's like I'm a mirror to people, you know what I'm saying? So it's interesting where, people will think that they are being slick and they don't know what's going on. And what's so funny is because, early on, especially like when I was around like a teenager, even an early adult, like I would question like, did I just feel that? Did I just see that? Did I just hear that? You know what I'm saying? And I would and low key, like for real, I didn't even think that there would be a reason for someone to like be jealous of me, right? So I'm like, why would they be jealous of me? Like why am I feeling that way? Why am I picking up on that? You know what I'm saying? And so I will even question myself, and question like, no, that can't be it, because I didn't even think there was a reason for them to be jealous of me. You know what I'm saying? I didn't see myself in that light. And so, of course, the older I got, it was just like, oh, okay, I get it. Like, you know what I'm saying? I've been there, done that. I've seen that, you know what I'm saying? But it's also helped me to trust even more in my own intuition, right? To, to believe, in what I do see, what I do hear, what I do feel, and not, and granted, because everybody is not capable of being able to have that gift, like for real, because, listen, people will manipulate for far less. You know what I'm saying? So you can't take that gift as a means to try to get over on somebody, or to manipulate somebody, or things like that. Like it comes back to you, but that's the reason why we don't move it that way. You know what I'm saying? That's the reason why we don't. And certain things I just don't do. You know what I'm saying? And granted, I had to learn through trial and error. I had to learn through my own mishaps, my own mistakes, me doing things thinking that, you know what I'm saying, I was going to get away with it, and understanding like, again, you have to move with integrity. You have to move with love and truth, and so of course it took time. It took time to get there, but the interesting thing is because I I tell people, and I think they think that it's just a game, you know what I'm saying? And then it's like something will happen or something is said, and just even how people move, how they respond, the things that they don't say, and it's like you telling on yourself, and for me it's been bittersweet, because it's been times where people that I was really close to, really, really close to, they told on themselves, and of course, like at some point I was like, nah, what I'm saying, I'm just going to give them the benefit of the doubt, whatever. But it was like the more that I became aware of just my own feelings and emotions, the more I became more stronger in my spiritual path. Yeah, it was just to the point where it's like, okay, you gotta trust you. Who do you trust? Do you trust you or you trust somebody else? You know what I mean? And so and I could no longer ignore the fact that they were feeling that way. You know what I'm saying? And granted, listen, we all have insecurities, we all have fears, we all have things that we need to work on. You know what I'm saying? So I'll be the first one to tell you, like, I'm not that person to be like, oh, because you didn't get this right or you didn't do that right. Like, I'm not like that. Like, I give people chance after chance, you know what I'm saying? Only is because I know what it's like to not get a chance, you know? I know what it's like to not feel like someone has your back, you know, or someone is there to support you, you know? And so I was that person that was giving people chance after chance and giving the benefit of the doubt, but it was like, but at what cost? You know what I'm saying? And so it was like, but once I was strong in my own gifts and my own path, like, you know, it was more so my feelings were just a mirror of to show people like this is how you move, whether you think you move like that way or not. You know what I'm saying? Now you might project your insecurities or your fears onto me, but once I start backing up, when I start moving a certain type of way, like really it's just a mirror. You know what I mean? And sometimes it affects people to the point. My apologies, y'all. I should turn that off. But it it affects people in a way where they don't even realize just how they move, you know what I'm saying? And so I'm grateful. I'm grateful, you know, this was not supposed to go on this long, but maybe it was for a reason. It was for a reason. But I'm grateful. I'm grateful for being an empath. I'm grateful to be able to you know, witness just the beauty in, you know, your emotions, right? Your feelings, right? You know, energy moving, right? That's, you know, what the emotions are, right? And so I'm just I'm sorry, energy and motion. But yeah, I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for even being in a space to recognize that it's a gift and not no longer feeling like it's a detriment to me or a curse to me. You know what I mean? It was just a matter of me learning how to use it, right? To utilize it. And so, so to my fellow empaths out there, you know what I'm saying? I see you, I recognize you, you know, and don't for one second, you know, doubt who you are, doubt your gifts, doubt, you know, how far you've come. Don't, you know what I'm saying? Because people will project their insecurities onto you and make you feel like it's you. They'll make you feel like, you know, oh no, like you didn't see that, you didn't feel that. And I'm like, so many times, like so many times, and so many times I listened to them. So many times I had listened to people telling me that when I knew the truth, when I could feel it in my gut, when I could feel it in my bones, when I could feel it, you know, but no longer. But no, for real, you know what I'm saying? So like I said, you know, or even if you're highly sensitive, you know, just know that you're appreciated. You're appreciated, and you know, it's not a curse. It's not a curse. And just know that you are loved, and you are needed. You are needed more than you will ever truly understand. And if you ever get to the point where you truly do understand how much you're needed, I hope that you are able to pay it forward and enlighten someone else that's on that same journey. And they may not be as advanced as you, but just, you know, let them know that you see them. You know, so I see y'all. I see y'all. And on top of that, I feel like, you know what I'm saying, even me just being even more tapped in, you know, one of my big threes is, you know, I'm a Cancer moon. So listen, I'm tapped in. You know what I'm saying? But again, I didn't know that, you know, I didn't know that coming up, you know, and I had to learn those things, and I had to be exposed to those different things in order for me just to understand just on even a deeper level just my gifts, you know. And so yeah, I appreciate y'all. I appreciate you. I appreciate, you know, what you are to my life. I appreciate my gifts. I thank God every day for them, you know what I'm saying? I thank my angels for them. I thank for my spirit team, you know what I mean? But I want you to know, like, you are heard, you are seen, and don't ever forget that. Don't forget it. I love you. So make sure you also too remember this, to be your authentic self. Love yourself to the max. And yeah, don't forget to use your voice. Always use your voice, right? I love y'all. Y'all be easy. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And also too, check out our Etsy store, right? All right, I love y'all. Y'all be easy.